Greetings, coders. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to output to standard out in C. The first thing that we need to do is we will need to include stdio.h, standard input output.h. This library file is necessary so that we can access the printf function. Printf, in this case, we using just like this to print out. It does not add a new line or anything, so this will only print out on a single line. But printf is the primary means that we have to output to standard output. stdio contains functions for inputting and for outputting. And so we'll also use scanf and gets and getchar from that come from standard IO as well. In addition, it has functions for outputting to file, fprintf, the same with fscanf. So printf doesn't just print out like we saw it, it actually has the capability to print formatted strings to standard output. It requires the include, like we talked about. This is the format for the printf. It requires or takes in a format string that can be a literal like we saw in the last slide, but also can contain what are called format specifiers. And then afterwards, it can have multiple variables that are used by these specifiers. And we'll see how this works in a minute. So as we saw, we can use printf, format the text just as a text literal. But then we also have printf specifiers. And here's a list of the different specifiers. The way these work is there's a % in front of each of them, and they have different values that they will print out a variable as. So we have the %d, %f for floating point, %s for string, %c, and %p for pointer addresses that we might use or you might use for debugging later. There are also several other types that are in this list. I won't test on this. If I test on anything, it'll be what's in here, but I just wanted to expose you to them so you had an idea of all the different things that printf format specifiers support. We can also do the formatting with leading zeros. So if we wanted to specify leading zeros here, we could have 0023. This is nice for lining up values in columns when you're printing out a lot of values. We can also format floats and doubles. So imagine if we have this really long value here and we tell it we just want at least five values on the left-hand side, dot, and then only 2 values for the decimal side. There are several variants of printf that I mentioned earlier. For printing to a file, we have fprintf. It takes the file as the argument first, and then the string that we just discussed with the format specifiers, and then the list of values that correspond to those specified. sprintf is pretty neat. It will output your results to a string instead of standard output, and so then you can do something with them later. And that's it for this video.